Welcome, everybody, to your WWE Backlash St. Louis preview and predictions. 5 match card, the old Triple H special. We know he likes it that way. And it's an interesting card, though. It's got some strong matches on it, and to the point that there are really no weak matches on it. And John and I have decided that we will be reacting to this entire show in full. So that's fun. So the 5 matches at hand that we're dealing with here are Dominic Mysterio versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the United States Championship. Pat McAfee versus Gunther in a match for Pat McAfee's pride. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And of course, John Cena defending the WWE, the undisputed WWE Championship against Randall Keith Orton. John, thoughts?
I have thoughts, and they're kind of weirdly put together, but it essentially boils down to this. I think one of the better things about the Hunter era, the Paul Levesque era, if you prefer, despite the many critiques we might have of it, mainly, when are you beating those allegations, Hunter? I do really love his PLE philosophy. Intimate cards are better. I think you kind of max me out personally at like 7 matches. Any more than that, I start to give it the side eye a little bit. 5 is nice and cozy. As far as the matches for themselves, this just feels like a very snug PLE, a fun get in, get out, nice bowl of chicken soup, if you will. So because of that, I'd say my hype level for this, I'm anywhere from a 7.5 to an 8. I think I'll go higher end. I'm an 8 out of 10 for this. I think it's just going to be a fun, straightforward show. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. How are you feeling about this, man?
I'm right there with you, man. I'm like right there. I think I will settle in a little lower on the lower end of exactly the range you were describing at 7.5. Nice, comfy, cozy 3/4 of a rating, 75%, 7.5. That's around where I am too, because it's one of those cards where like none of these matches is like really overly like inspirational, like oh my god, match of the year quality type thing. But none of them are like oh god, eye roll, like this is gonna suck type thing either. I know that Pat Gunther might be that way for some people, and maybe some of the other matches might be too. Even like Cena Orton might be that way for some people, but for us specifically, none of the matches on this show are like cringe eye roll worthy at all. We like Pat in the ring. We've liked Cena and Orton's last few matches that they've had. I'm looking forward to every match on this show, but it's not to like an enthusiastically like, oh my god, I can't wait kind of degree. It's like, oh yeah, this will be fun to watch kind of thing.
So with that said, I mean, no need to overstay our welcome here. Let's get started. What match do you want to talk about first?
I was going to leave that to you. Would you rather talk about the mid card titles first or McAfee Gunther first?
Let's talk about McAfee Gunther first because there
Sure.
are no titles on the line for that.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I'm just going to be very straightforward with this. Obviously, Gunther wins before, I would say, going to SmackDown in the draft. So I just think, yeah, it's a Gunther win. And I hope those rumors about potentially having a match with Goldberg are false. Keep that fucking shitter away from Gunther. We don't need it. I still haven't forgiven him for beating The Fiend for the Universal title all those years ago. So how do you feel about Gunther McAfee?
Yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing here is that this is all leading to Goldberg being back. Like, I don't really give a shit who the opponent is. Goldberg being back is the bad thing in general. Like, he could be facing Logan Paul. He could be facing Sheamus. He could be burying someone I hate, which I mean Logan Paul I already mentioned. Um, he could be going against, and I think that this will be that situation. He could be going against someone that might even be able to carry him to a passable match. It doesn't really matter. Goldberg being around isn't good for anyone. It's really bad for everyone involved. His star has faded and has been faded for a long time now. Him facing someone isn't the rub that it used to be. And I don't think that Gunther having to carry old man Goldberg to a match that may or may not be watchable is going to help him in any way at all. So, and frankly, you know, I think that if you asked Bill Goldberg, or if he heard me say that, I think he would say, I don't give a damn. It's not for him, it's for me and for my kids. And for that, I say, fuck you, you self indulgent piece of shit.
I mean, did you pick up the crown afterwards? But yeah, look, man, even if this was Gunther year one on the main roster, I'd be like making Tina noises, right? But this would be doing the match after he's already had an amazing Intercontinental title run, all-time record, by the way. Fuck you, Honky Tonk Man, and a pretty decent world title reign, right? Like he doesn't need this, and Goldberg doesn't need it either. He needs to simmer his fucking ass. But regardless, I'm guessing again, you agree with me. Gunther's beating Pat, so we can just lock that in.
Definitely, yes.
All right, locking it
I
in.
do hope that Pat is really able to put up a fight and not just get totally squashed. I'm hoping that the match goes at least like 7 or 8 minutes. But yeah, I do think that it's got to be a lot. I mean, here's the thing: Goldberg could show up during the match and cost Gunther the match, and that could be how McAfee gets the win. And that would be like, Pat gets a feather in his cap, and Gunther still moves on to Goldberg because he's pissed at him for costing him the match with Pat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's an out there that they could do, but I don't know why they would want to do that. So I'm going to just assume Gunther wins.
Let's move on to our next matchup.
Let's talk about Dominic Mysterio defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta. I know that on a personal level, I am rooting for Penta here. I want Penta to win here, but I'm curious how you feel about more objectively who you actually think is going to win.
I think Dominic is going to retain. I mean, he just got the title at Mania. I don't think they're going to take it off of him this soon. Where it gets interesting, right? So I want to say a couple things about this and really looking at this objectively. I do think Penta is succeeding in singles. I'm personally not the biggest Penta fan, but you can't deny how over he is. He's doing really well. I think it's even more impressive because he's not doing even like the ultra violence or like the sacrifices that he was doing in Lucha Underground. Granted, he is doing the arm break, but it's not sold like it was in Lucha Underground.
Right.
Right. And he's still getting so over. He's connecting with kids, connecting with audiences. That's amazing for him. So if they do put the title on him, it wouldn't be too surprising. I'm just not expecting it.
Exactly.
Where it gets, excuse me?
I said exactly same.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just want to make sure that I always get what you're saying. Where it gets interesting for me is clearly Finn is having problems with the Judgment Day not centering him. I think he's taking it very personally, which, let's be real, he fucking should. That Dominic Mysterio has leapfrogged him. I mean, first Priest, and you can maybe accept it because you're thinking, oh, Damian Priest, he's a big guy, he's capable. When you get leapfrogged by Dominic Mysterio, if you're not second guessing your life, I don't know. You're either aloof or the most content motherfucker I've ever seen. And Finn is definitely not content, and he's not aloof, which is why he's tilting his face off. So, but where I get to that is, does Finn become the babyface in that situation? Because Dominic got a nice pop at Mania. I don't know if he got any kind of pop on Raw this past Monday or whatever. I think he just had the backstage segment, so I should say 2 weeks ago if he got like a nice pop or whatever. But I'm really what I'm getting at is, are they going to turn Dominic face? There was a time I thought that would never happen, but now I don't know anymore. So I'm going to say that Dom retains, but I really don't know if we look forward even like 3 months from now, one, if he'll still be the champion, and two, like where he'll be as far as the crowd, alignment, all that stuff. I think Dom's kind of up in the air right now, but I do see him retaining here.
Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to do one of those protect my emotional well-being moves and pick Dominic to retain while actively rooting for Penta and rooting for myself to be wrong here.
There you go.
But then we get to the Fatal 4-Way for the United States Championship. Jacob Fatu defending against LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in a Fatal 4-Way match. And I think this is simple as it gets. Jacob Fatu retains.
I fortunately and unfortunately at the same time agree with you. I fortunately agree with you because it's Jacob Fatu, and long may he reign, and he's single-handedly redeeming this shithole country. I unfortunately agree with you because I worry that did they take the U.S. title off LA Knight to put Money in the Bank on him? You know that's my favorite pay-per-view of the year. You know I'm fucking hyped for both ladder matches. You know I've already got my campaigns. Naomi for women's, and if not Naomi, Chelsea. And for men's right now, the only candidate I have that's like my primary candidate if we were doing ranked choice voting is
Alistair.
Aleister Black.
Yes.
Um, so I worry about LA Knight being in the ladder match, especially because I told Super Blue that if he, I don't know if you saw this in the Discord, I told Super Blue that if he won that match, because Super Blue put it out in the universe, because of course he did, that I would physically buy a tape recorder, record 30 minutes worth of my farts on it, and then send it either to Super Blue or WWE headquarters. I'm thinking WWE headquarters just to fuck with them a little
I
bit.
mean, dude, it's an audio recording. You can make copies and send it to multiple places.
That is, you know what? You're so right, and I just love how your mind works. But you know, in all sincerity, we do have to really consider LA Knight as a Money in the Bank winner, and I hate it. I fucking hate it so much. But yeah, he's not winning because I feel like the ladder match is going to be, you know, where we really need to start thinking about it. Drew, I think, is going to have a singles match with Jacob, so I'm not worried
Yeah,
about the ladder
well,
match or any
here's
of that
my
with
thing,
him.
dude. I think Drew is the only man in this match with the potential of dethroning Jacob in this match. And the reason being, I do think that that is the singles match we're headed for. And my question is whether it'll be Jacob challenging Drew for the title that he feels like he unjustly lost because Drew pins one of the other guys in the match, or Jacob pins one of the other guys in the match and Drew bitches and moans his way into a rematch in a 1v1 context.
I do agree with you. I like what Foster said too. Jacob pins Priest, who is kind of cold. I guess what he means is like the crowd's kind of like cooling off on him. I would agree, actually. It's kind of a shame because I really do love everything that Priest brings to the table, but I don't know if he peaked winning the world title as far as crowd response goes, at least for the moment. That can change on a dime.
Drew
But
beat
yeah,
Priest at Mania, right?
he did. He did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that whoever it is that does win this match, whether it is Jacob or Drew, I do think that Priest makes the most sense as the pin taker. And again, it would come back to if Drew pins Priest, that would go back to the Mania match. It's like Drew just has Priest's number, which would also come back to the fact that Priest fucked Drew over several times last year anyway, in Drew's mind at least. And then and then Jacob would be pissed because he didn't get pinned for the title that he won and he never lost it. So he would go after Drew. We get 1v1 there. And then if Jacob pins Priest, I'm sure LA Knight would still have gripes, but Drew would be the one really yucking it up, bitching and moaning, going to Nick Aldis, trying to get a rematch for the title.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. Let me just acknowledge that before I go into my next point. I almost wonder if it would have been better for Priest and really for us as an audience because it was a Sin City street fight and Drew won, you know, in a really like quote unquote brutal way in the confines of that match. If Priest would have taken at least a month off, like the idea that you're already back in the mix after that street fight in which you lost, I don't know. I don't know. I think it would have been good to be like, hey, Priest, you know what? You did really well in this feud with Drew. Take a few weeks off. You know, we'll have you back for the next pay-per-view, even if it was Money in the Bank. You know, I really, I know we've talked about this on and off the last couple of years. I really wish WWE did some kind of a roster rotation, man, because I think you need
Yeah,
certain
we
baby
skipped the
faces.
draft this year. That kind of fucks my shit up.
Say that again about the draft.
I said we kind of skipped the draft this year. That kind of fucks my shit up.
Yeah, dude, I know. Yeah, it's yeah, I really don't know how the landscape's going to be, you know, after Backlash, but I do hope Priest can get back to it, you know, being over with the crowd because I do think he has a lot to offer. But Jacob Fatu is just the fucking man right now. Hearing the crowd chant Fatu tonight, bruh, like that was amazing. It's amazing to see how over he's become. So yeah, I say he wins this. I could see him pinning Priest 100%. And yeah, when it comes to Drew and LA Knight specifically, Drew I think will get his one-on-one match with Jacob eventually, and LA Knight, I really have to think about Money in the Bank. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ. So those are all my thoughts.
Cool beans, man. Yeah, I think I am going to just agree with my initial sentiment here that Jacob is retaining, but again, I'm going to leave the door open for a Drew McIntyre win here. Then we can move on to Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. I I think on the surface level, it's very obvious that Becky's winning here, but there's a big part of me that thinks maybe Bayley returns here and costs Becky the match.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God. I've hated this whole feud so far. I think I'm starting slowly to vibe with what Becky's doing, like her kind of tilting her face
I
off
have
heel character.
loved Becky Lynch since she's returned, and I've never been, I shouldn't say never, but it's been a while since I've really been that into Becky Lynch. But I think she's been fan-fucking-tastic in her return.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Lyra, man, because I think she's trying out there, but as you said a few times in the Discord, crowd on Monday was not connecting with her at all.
Well, and that's
Um,
another thing, though, is like that's what Becky's trying to fix. Becky is trying desperately to make Lyra and Bayley at the same fucking time. Like Bayley is someone who like has had flashes in the pan of being really over, but she hasn't ever really been perceived by the WWE universe as being like on that level of Becky and Charlotte. And Becky's trying to fix that. She's trying to help get Bayley to that point. She's trying to push her across the finish line, and she's trying to make Lyra. She's trying to like get Lyra established as like a fucking star in the company, and Lyra just does not have that connection with the crowd naturally, and Becky's trying to help them help it happen basically.
yeah, yeah. So I can commend Becky for that. I don't know. I'm just going to be straightforward with the prediction here because there's really not much to say beyond that, and I don't want to hem and haw for 10 minutes. I do think Becky's winning.
Yeah,
I do think Becky's
I'm
winning.
gonna
It'll get
agree, and I'm gonna lock that pick in
yeah.
because I think the Bayley character is more likely to come out and save Lyra from a post-match beatdown than actively contribute to helping Lyra win the match.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you for sure. So Becky wins, and then I don't know, maybe we transition to a Becky Bayley feud for the Intercontinental
Yes,
title. Which,
I fully
speaking
expect
of
that.
Money
I
in the
know
Bank,
Mark's
that
not
would
a big fan of that.
yeah, I'm also not a big fan of that either. But speaking of Money in the Bank, that would free Lyra up to be a potential contender for women's. But
Yeah,
given
that could be
how she
fun.
has yeah, given how she has no momentum with the crowd, though, I'm not really putting her at the strongest odds of winning the briefcase. I'm telling you, I really
Yeah.
think it's either Naomi or Chelsea this year, but we have to obviously see who qualifies first. But
I mean, yeah,
all right,
and
well,
then here's the thing: it might not even necessarily be either one of them. I mean, if you watched SmackDown tonight, we might get some weird shenanigans with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss.
yeah, yeah.
Both, I believe, both former Money in the Bank winners.
Alexa Bliss, yes. Did Charlotte ever win Money in the Bank?
I was thinking the same thing. I know Alexa's won it,
I
maybe
don't
even
think Charlotte
several
ever has.
times. Has Alexa won it more than once?
I think she's only won it one time. I think you're thinking of Carmella, who won it twice.
Well,
Technically won it twice.
she technically because they reran the same match the same year.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Uh,
Well, Randy Orton, John Cena, undisputed WWE Championship match. What do we think?
well, first of all, thank you for deferring to my face, handsome son of a bitch. But I will tell you what I think. I said this to you before, I think, in conversation. I don't know if I said this for posterity, on recording. I want them to run back the I want to say Elimination Chamber WWE Championship match, just the two of them, not an actual chamber match. It was the pay-per-view Elimination Chamber or No Way Out. It might have still been No Way Out at the time. I think back in 2008, where Orton was the champion, Cena cashed in his Rumble win early, and there was a point where it really looked like Cena was going to have Orton beat. Orton was definitely on the ropes. He looks around, he slaps the referee.
Yeah.
Referee calls for the bell, and that's it. I want Cena to know that Orton's got him cornered in his hometown. He's got the whole crowd behind him, slaps the referee, ring the bell. Turnabout's fair fucking play. It'd be a great callback to, a notable moment in their feud. And it's a DQ finish. And, Cena's a heel now, so it makes sense. So I think Cena retains by DQ. And, yeah. And then Orton just has to know that, like, wow, I couldn't get it done in my hometown. So that's my prediction. Cena retains by DQ, so Orton wins, but he doesn't win the title via Cena slapping the ref in the face. What are you thinking?
I have a feeling that and because here's the thing, I love that idea, and I think that they absolutely should do that, but I don't think that should be the end of the match. I think they should do that, and then they should have the ref call for the match, disqualification. Cena retains, or Orton wins, but Cena retains. But then they should have have all this come out and be like, no, 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 no. That might have been how things worked back in your day, but this is, I'm the GM here. Restart the match, no disqualification, and we fucking do the thing.
Okay. Okay.
And I think regardless, I do think Cena's winning no matter what. But I love your idea of having Cena do to Orton what Orton already did to Cena with the freaking ref DQ. That is brilliant. And here's the thing, because Cena is a smarter competitor than Orton, I would have him do it early in the match. Maybe even open the match by slapping the ref, have the ref DQ, and just try and rob the fans of the entire match, and then have Aldis come out, no DQ, and then the whole match is a surprise no DQ match. I think we'd pop for that. I think that would be amazing.
I think that would be tremendous booking. I really like where your head's at, actually. Can I ask you a follow-up question? Do we think either R-Truth or fake Orton, who we saw tonight, who might have been Miles Bourne, but we can't
Dude,
confirm
I
that?
need to know who it was.
Do we think either of them get involved in this match? Because especially if it goes the way that you're thinking, like maybe Cena does try and get DQ'd early to say fuck you and your family,
Yeah.
Randy, and then it gets restarted no DQ.
Dude, and then R-Truth helps Cena win.
And then Cena beats up R-Truth post-match.
Oh my God! Honestly, I love everything that's going on in this discussion, but I feel like we're asking too much of them.
Yeah, but the last time is now, Ashton. The last time is now.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like Cena wouldn't be a heel if he didn't actively deprive us of things we wanted.
It's so true, because we're never going to hear that entrance theme. We're never going to see the new ring gear he was supposed to have. You get jorts, but I wanted to. You're getting jorts. Fuck you.
Boo
So
me
yeah,
again
I don't know.
and love it.
Yeah. I am gonna wear this belt in reverse around my waist so the camera focuses on my ass, which you can eat if you have a fucking problem. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I much like you, I love this conversation that we're having about Cena Orton. I'm looking forward to this match, man. Like, I am really. It's funny because I'm the first one, especially with modern day pro wrestling. In 2025, I'm the first one to be a curmudgeon. I'm the first one to be the fly in the ointment. With Cena being heel, whatever my gripes, which we already aired them out a while
Dude, his
back on
promo tonight, holy fucking shit. You know what?
yeah.
Actually, the fact that I'm praising it, I'm putting it in my promo of the year awards nominations.
You know what? Great shout. Great shout. Foster, with all due respect, I'm better built than that fake Randy Orton. Okay, he wishes he had my abs. But no, man. When it comes to heel Cena now, I'm really just turning my brain off and enjoying it. And God, was he so much fun tonight, dude? That head shake when somebody threw the beer can or the beer bottle in the ring. That was such disappointed dad energy. Jesus Christ.
It was. Oh my God, that was so good. That was like full blown sitcom TV dad when he finds out that his kid got into a fight at school or something.
I got into the fight at school and he didn't even win the fight. The fuck did I raise you to be? No, I'm telling you, if Cena ever shook his head like that at me, I would just give up on everything. I'd be like, wow, my life is a complete and utter failure and I am nothing. Thank you, John.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
He heard you say how proud you were of Santos for being a stern leader and hit you with that.
Dude, and by the way, I am going to triple down on that. I am very proud of Santos for being a stern leader. But Cena was MVP tonight. He was fucking fantastic. And Orton, I'll tell you one thing that I wish wasn't the case. I wish it didn't feel so one-sided on TV, because like Orton has RKO'd Cena 3 different fucking times on the build-up to this. I would have liked maybe Cena getting one up and kind of laughing and being a dickbag. Because now I'm just convinced, like, yeah, Cena's definitely retaining. Orton has owned him on TV.
Though, dude, let's be real. It didn't matter what the build-up to this match was going to be. We were never going to predict anything other than Cena retaining on this show.
You right.
So, in my mind, let Orton get his shit in. because at the pay-per-view, he's getting his shit pushed in regardless.
You know what? That was one of your best taglines ever. I fucking love you. Oh my god. Um, yeah, I gotta tell you, man, just because it's an intimate card and I think we know what to expect more or less from these matches, this is a rare instance, and it's not even a bad thing. Well, I don't even think my hype has gone up, but it definitely hasn't gone down. I think I'm just gonna stick to my 8 out of 10. I'm very much looking forward to this. Do you have
Yeah.
any final thoughts about Backlash?
I'm going to actually join you on that 8 out of 10. I moved up a half a point.
Was it my tone?
Maybe.
Oh my god, I knew it. I fucking knew it. All right, I won't let the power go to my head, I promise.
I said
But
maybe. I didn't say yes. Jeez.
we know that I hear what I want to hear, okay? Um,
Oh my god, it's so true.
yes, yes. Acknowledging things about me that you wish weren't true, but are true is the fucking best. I love you, John Cena. The last real champ is here.
Go
All right,
kill
guys.
wrestling, pal. No, when
Dude,
we get off here, we're gonna watch the teaser to season 2 of your show.
yes, bro. I am. Can I just say, look, because we already wrapped up preview predictions. We could just shoot the shit for like a second here. I cannot wait for him to kill pro wrestling because I'm looking at this business and I'm like, my God, fucking kill it. So Cena has got
Yep.
my full support personally. Um,
WWE is owned by a fucking awful company who supports racists and pieces of shit. AEW is owned by a nepo baby who will literally never get his shit together. New Japan and Stardom are both owned by the same shitty company that just love ruining their products. Marigold is, I mean, let's be real, owned by someone with literal pedophilia accusations. Fucking
wait, what the fuck? Wait,
Kenny
pause.
Omega, I thought you knew about this. Kenny Omega has accused Rossi Ogawa of being a pedo. I thought
Oh
you
my
knew this.
God. I thought, you know what? I must have memory hold that because I remember when that happened, but the whole thing just sounded kind of unhinged that I'm like, is Kenny just lashing out? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, thank you for reminding that. God damn. That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah,
Um
like the whole business can just go up in flames and we would be right there literally rooting for the flames.
See, and then we would have to consolidate resources to elevate Ase to top wrestling promotion.
Ashe,
We
yes.
Shit, yes. Like, yeah, just all black wrestling promotion with black excellence, with Hurt Syndicate as the top faction, and nature will heal. Nature
I
will
mean, I'm pretty
fucking
sure
heal.
Lashley is MAGA, so maybe not them.
Oh, God, that's true. Fuck. Why is everything so broken? Shelton can stay, though. We love you, Shelton.
I mean, we know Shelton's great friends with Brock Lesnar, so I don't know about him
Oh, Jesus. Well, MVP then, because,
yeah,
he's been through
MVP.
shit and he's grown.
MVP can stay.
Yeah, MVP, you could stay.
Jesus
Fuck.
Christ.
God damn it, man. Fuck. All right. Anyway. And you know what? The answer was staring us in the face the whole time. We just need to make Foster the leader of pro wrestling. He's so pure and fucking wonderful. He can heal it. He can fix everything. He might even be able to fix me, but I'm simmering down. So, with that
I
said,
believe in you, Foster.
also, I blame Jacob for tripping LA Knight's back. Maybe LA Knight should have coordination and not have a fucking stick up his ass. God damn it.
Bro,
The
why are
fuck?
you reading Super Blue comments on our way out?
Dude, I'm sorry he brings this out of me, okay? And I'm genuinely afraid that I'm never going to hear the end of it if LA Knight wins Money in the Bank. He needs to lose that match, man. I can't take it. All right.
What are you going to
But
do when he doesn't even qualify?
I am, you know what I'm going to do since you asked, since you invited us? I am going to splooge all over the goddamn server. And I will leave it to everyone else to fucking clean up in my sheer fucking joy that that shitter failed at yet another thing like he's failed every day of his miserable stick-laden life. Anyway, I just popped my hoodie. There we go. That was me asserting dominance. With that said, everyone, leave a like as you file out. Subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss any of that Twitwell goodness. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Blue Sky and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And we will see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for Backlash live reactions. And then immediately following Backlash, we will do a review of the PLE and we will do kind of a light weekend review talking about Evolve and NXT.
And we'll
It's gonna.
review Backlash probably too, briefly.
Well, I thought I said that. Maybe you didn't catch that. I did say
Oh, you're
review
right. I didn't
Backlash
catch that.
PLE.
My apologies.
No, that's all right. Review the Backlash PLE. Talk about Evolve NXT. It'll be a fun time. And then it's onwards to my favorite pay-per-view, Money in the Bank. Oh God, I really hope I have something to be excited about. All right,
Don't
guys.
forget, we got Saturday night's main event 2 weeks.
We don't do anything for that because of all the commercials, though. So
I
that
mean,
is.
yeah, but it's still happening, and they're going to build to that before they properly build to Money in the Bank, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you know what else is happening on it? Jey Uso versus Logan fucking Paul. So maybe that can eat my ass too. And speaking of Usos, fuck you, Jimmy Uso. Oh, Truth, what are you doing? Maybe he's recognizing what greatness is because you've never even won a singles championship.
We
Twin
were
ass.
so close to getting through an entire show without you shitting on Jimmy Uso. Damn, this is my fault. I take the blame. Sorry, everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys, we will see you tomorrow. It's going to be a fun time. Be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in and peace out.